Shane Van Gisbergen doing donuts in front of the Turn 1 grandstands before second place even got to the finish line is actually crazy.
Shane Van Gisbergen just made history again in the NASCAR Cup Series, and this time, it's a record that will be hard to beat. On a sunny afternoon at Watkins Glen International, the 36-year-old New Zealander drove his number, 88 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet, to an incredible victory, earning his fourth win of the season. This victory doesn't just add another trophy to his collection, it officially broke the NASCAR rookie wins record. Van Gisbergen has now surpassed legends like Jimmie Johnson and Tony Stewart for the most wins by a rookie in a single season. With his trademark calm and focus, Van Gisbergen dominated the 90-lap race, leading for 38 laps and crossing the finish line a staggering 11.116 seconds ahead of second-place finisher Christopher Bell. For Van Gisbergen, this victory was not just another road course win, it was a massive milestone in his rookie season in the Cup Series. Shane Van Gisbergen's victory at Watkins Glen was not only about adding to his career win total, it marked a historic moment for the young driver. He now holds the record for most wins by a rookie in a single season, a record previously shared by racing greats like Tony Stewart, Jimmie Johnson, and Davey Allison. This record is particularly impressive given the competition in NASCAR's elite ranks, and it further cements Van Gisbergen as a rising star in the series. The win at Watkins Glen was his fourth on road courses this season, a feat that not only helped him break the rookie win record, but also gave him a unique place in NASCAR history. His 4 wins on road courses now tie him with Denny Hamlin for the most victories this year. It's no surprise that Van Gisbergen's consistency on road courses has made him one of the most feared competitors on the circuit. Van Gisbergen's path to victory at Watkins Glen was smooth, but it was also a challenge. Starting in second, he quickly made up the ground and took the lead on lap 25, establishing control over the race. As competitors like Ryan Blaney and Chris Busch fought for position, Van Gisbergen kept his composure, never losing focus. In the final stage, after his pit stop, Van Gisbergen cycled back to the lead and held it for the last 17 laps. Despite challenges from Christopher Bell, who finished second, and Busch, who took third, Van Gisbergen's pace was unmatched. His commanding victory was made even more impressive by the fact that he finished over 11 seconds ahead of his competitors. This was the second largest margin of victory in Watkins Glen's history, further showing just how dominant Van Gisbergen was on this road course. For Van Gisbergen, this victory meant more than just a record-breaking achievement. It was a deeply emotional moment, as his father, Robert, was in attendance for the first time in a long while. Robert had faced serious health issues that kept him from traveling, but his presence at the track made the victory even sweeter for Shane. Van Gisbergen shared his joy with the crowd, kicking a rugby ball into the stands, a gesture that added a personal touch to his historic win. "It's amazing to have him here," Van Gisbergen said of his father. "It's been a very tough year for Dad, and he hasn't been able to travel. Having him here for the next 3 weeks and sharing this with him, it's amazing." This heartfelt moment was a reminder of the sacrifices that families make in the world of racing, and it added an emotional layer to the already unforgettable victory. With 4 wins under his belt, Van Gisbergen heads into the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs with a strong position. His 22 playoff points place him third among all drivers heading into the postseason, but he knows the challenges are far from over. As a rookie, Van Gisbergen has shown incredible skill on road courses, but he admits that he still has work to do when it comes to mastering the oval tracks that make up a large part of the Cup Series schedule. "The first round has some very difficult left-handed tracks, but I'm getting better at it," Van Gisbergen explained. "I'm enjoying myself, and it's a challenge, but that's why we're here." Despite these challenges, Van Gisbergen remains optimistic. His performance on road courses has been nothing short of impressive, and if he can carry that momentum into the ovals, he'll be a serious contender in the playoffs. Van Gisbergen's rise in NASCAR has brought renewed attention to the sport, particularly when it comes to the performances of rookies and fresh talent. While veterans like Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, and William Byron continue to fight for supremacy, Van Gisbergen has proven that a rookie can still make a massive impact on the track. His success has sparked excitement among fans, as many are eager to see if this new talent can carry his success into the next stages of the season. As a driver who is still learning and adapting to the NASCAR circuit, Van Gisbergen's dominance on road courses has been a breath of fresh air for the series. His ability to perform at such a high level in his rookie season speaks to his potential and suggests that he could be a dominant force in NASCAR for years to come. With the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs just around the corner, the competition is heating up. Van Gisbergen has already solidified his spot as one of the top contenders, but the real test will come when the series moves into the tougher oval tracks. As a driver who has dominated on road courses, he will now face the challenge of proving his versatility on the ovals, where veteran drivers like Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Chase Elliott have built their legacies. Despite these challenges, Van Gisbergen's confidence remains high. He knows that each race is an opportunity to learn and improve, and with his exceptional driving skills, he has the potential to make a deep run in the playoffs. As he prepares for the next chapter of his NASCAR career, Van Gisbergen's impressive record-breaking season has already earned him a place in NASCAR history. His 4 wins in a rookie season are a testament to his skill and dedication, and his story has only just begun. Shane Van Gisbergen's success at Watkins Glen is just the latest chapter in what has been a remarkable rookie season in the NASCAR Cup Series. His 4 wins on road courses have broken records, earned him the respect of his peers, and established him as one of the top drivers in the series. As he heads into the NASCAR playoffs, the excitement surrounding Van Gisbergen's future is palpable, and fans are eager to see how he performs on the oval tracks. With a combination of skill, determination, and the support of his team, Shane Van Gisbergen is poised to continue making waves in NASCAR for years to come. Whether he can carry his road course success into the playoffs and beyond remains to be seen. But one thing is for certain, Van Gisbergen is a driver to watch. As NASCAR looks to the future, the rise of new stars like Shane Van Gisbergen offers a glimpse into the sport's exciting next chapter. The competition is fierce, but with Van Gisbergen leading the charge, the future of NASCAR looks brighter than ever.
Kyle Busch blocks in the 48. Kyle, right rear hanging out, which is legal. I would have loved if I was the 48 that he would have got a little further in his box, but hey, Kyle Busch did everything he was allowed to do.
Maybe he feels like the 48 got too deep in his box and didn't allow him to get where he needed to get.
I don't know, but I'm going to keep an eye on this. Watch this as we come back.
What happens when a 2-time NASCAR champion reaches his absolute breaking point? Kyle Busch just showed us at Iowa Speedway, and it wasn't pretty. The veteran driver unleashed an F-bomb-filled radio rant that had the entire NASCAR world talking. This wasn't just another heated moment. This was a complete meltdown years in the making. Kyle Busch's Iowa nightmare started before the race even began. Saturday's practice session looked promising. The 40-year-old was running second fastest in his group, pushing his Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet to find that extra 1/10 of a second. Then, disaster struck. Entering Turn 1, Busch felt confident after a strong run through Turns 3 and 4. "Felt really good in 3 and 4 there, I throttled up," Busch explained after the crash. "Car stuck well, and I'm like, okay, the right rear's good, let's go," and drove it off into 1 with a little bit more trust factor in it, and obviously it wasn't there. The number 8 Chevrolet got loose. Busch overcorrected. The car snapped sideways and slammed headfirst into the wall. Flames erupted from the front end as the primary car was destroyed beyond repair. "Got a little bit loose and overcorrected and just smacked the fence," Busch said. The crash forced his team to work through the night preparing a backup car. For a driver sitting 81 points below the playoff cutoff line, this spelled disaster. Busch would start 37th, dead last in the field. The psychological impact was immediate. Busch admitted his trust in the RCR cars dropped to 0 after the wreck. "I was probably built up to about 75–80% trust. Now I'm back to 0 again," he said. Sunday brought the Iowa Corn 350, and Busch faced an uphill battle from the rear. Starting 37th in a backup car would test every ounce of his championship experience. Stage 1 showed modest progress. Busch nursed the backup machine from 37th to 33rd position. Not spectacular, but survival mode was the priority. Stage 2 delivered the breakthrough. Busch clawed his way through traffic, showcasing why he's a 63-time Cup Series winner. Strategic calls from crew chief Randall Burnett put him in position to capitalize. When the checkered flag waved for Stage 2, Busch had climbed to 5th place, earning crucial stage points. The momentum felt real. The backup car was responding. Maybe this weekend from hell could be salvaged after all. Then came lap 169. Shane Van Gisbergen's spin-off turn 2 brought out the caution flag. Cars flooded pit road for service under yellow. Iowa Speedway's narrow pit road layout created immediate problems. Busch's pit box sat directly next to Alex Bowman's number, 48 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. As multiple cars hit pit road simultaneously, traffic became a nightmare. Busch found himself trapped. The angle required to enter his pit stall created a traffic jam. His awkward entry blocked Bowman's smooth approach to the adjacent pit box. Bowman wasn't happy about the delay, but if he expected an apology from Kyle Busch, he clearly forgot who he was dealing with. That's when Busch exploded. NASCAR reporter Steven Taranto captured the raw audio that sent shockwaves through the NASCAR community. Over his team radio, Busch unleashed a profanity-laced tirade that would become instant legend. "Go tell the 48s to fuck off. It's a shitty situation. We all fucking suck. What do you want me to fucking do?" But Busch wasn't finished. He threw his hand out the car window in a gesture clearly directed at Bowman. The message was unmistakable. This wasn't just about a pit road traffic jam. This was the culmination of years of frustration boiling over in one volcanic moment. The "we all fucking suck" comment revealed everything. Busch wasn't just mad at Bowman. He was furious with his team's performance, his own struggles, and a season spiraling out of control. Consider the context. Busch had just destroyed his primary car in practice. He was starting last in a backup. He was 81 points below the playoff cut line with 3 races remaining. Every position mattered. Every point counted. The pit road incident amplified all of that pressure into one explosive moment. Bowman kept his composure and finished 7th, earning his 5th top 10 result in the last 6 races. Meanwhile, Busch's frustration continued mounting. Busch's meltdown reflects a deeper crisis. The 2-time champion hasn't won a race since the Worldwide Technology Raceway in 2023, his 3rd career victory with Richard Childress Racing. His 2025 statistics paint a troubling picture. After 23 starts, Busch has managed only 2 top 5 finishes and 7 top 10s. These numbers represent a dramatic decline from his championship years. The playoff situation adds another layer of desperation. Busch trails Chris Buescher, who occupies the final playoff spot, by 73 points. With 3 races remaining, that's a massive deficit to overcome through points alone. His only realistic path to the playoffs? Win one of the next 3 races at Watkins, Glen, Richmond, or Daytona. Busch's post-race comments revealed the technical issues plaguing his season. Despite fighting back to a 20th place finish, remarkable considering his starting position, the fundamental problems remained. "We started the weekend in a deficit after going to a backup car on Saturday, and spent most of the day Sunday just battling for track position in our Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen Chevrolet," Busch explained. Crew Chief Randall Burnett made some race strategy calls that got us into the top 10 and earned us some stage points, but we lost that track position in Stage 3 and struggled to return to the front. The core issue? Our Chevy couldn't turn in traffic. Even with the freshest tires and dirty air didn't help. We busted our behinds out there today, but didn't have enough. Busch's struggles highlight a broader challenge with NASCAR's next-gen car. His historical strengths haven't translated to the new platform. Take Watkins Glen, the next race on the schedule. Busch has 2 career wins at the road course and was historically dominant there. Since joining RCR in 2023, he hasn't managed a single top 10 finish at the track. Richmond presents a similar story. Busch has 6 total wins at the short track, making it one of his strongest venues historically. In the next-gen era, 0 wins in 6 starts since 2022. Even Daytona, the final regular season race, offers limited hope. In 40 career starts at the Superspeedway, Busch has just 1 victory. The next-gen car hasn't produced a Daytona win for him either. Busch's explosion occurred against a backdrop of broader NASCAR frustration at Iowa. Denny Hamlin voiced similar concerns about the racing product. Hamlin criticized NASCAR and Goodyear's tire choice, sending Dale Earnhardt Jr. a screenshot with the message.
On Saturday night, and I said, "Can you believe that we tire tested here? Not we, the 11 car, but NASCAR and Goodyear tire tested here And this is the tire that they came up with, is the one that had 0 fall off after 50 laps.
The
And it
tire
was-
compound created passing difficulties that frustrated multiple drivers. Hamlin explained that the difference between first and 30th place was only 0.3 of a second, making overtaking nearly
the end of the
impossible.
run. It just makes it extremely difficult. And really the only time you see those passes is when chaos breaks out, either on restarts or when the leader catches the back of the pack. And that's what we as drivers are most frustrated about.
Busch's playoff hopes now rest on 3 vastly different challenges. Each track tells a different story about his remaining chances. Watkins Glen requires road course mastery. Busch's 2 career wins there came in a different era. His next-gen struggles at road courses suggest this won't be his salvation. Richmond demands short track expertise. 6 career wins prove Busch's historical dominance, but the next-gen car has neutralized many of his traditional advantages. Daytona offers superspeedway chaos. 1 win in 40 starts isn't encouraging, but anything can happen in a restrictor plate race.
Has there been a shift that you've noticed? Like people are like, let's get this guy out of here. He's too good.
Yeah, especially when you got the 3 races in a row, and then people make these comparisons on the internet. Same
God.
stats as Tony Stewart or Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon.
Denny Hamlin.
I'm like, I know it's not the same. Like, I'm not an idiot, and I don't ever compare myself to those guys, but that obviously starts the online talk, and then people...
Shane Van Gisbergen made a stunning declaration about Brad Keselowski that's completely reframing the playoff format debate. With only 3 races remaining in the 2025 regular season, SVG's powerful message is revealing the true colors of NASCAR's critics in ways nobody saw coming. NASCAR finds itself in the middle of a heated playoff debate after Joey Logano captured the 2024 Cup Series title with the worst average finish in championship history. Demands for returning to a full points playoff system reached fever pitch. Critics argue the current format completely disregards multi-time winners during the regular season, protesting against what they see as a lack of merit in the 12-year-old system. The present playoff format lets 16 drivers into the playoffs, then forces them to survive through 3 elimination rounds of 3 races each. This structure was designed to increase TV ratings and create Game 7 moments, but it's also sparked fierce resistance from fans and drivers who believe it undermines seasonal performance. However, SVG just illuminated exactly why the current system still works, and his reasoning centers on one driver who's become the perfect test case. Shane Van Gisbergen revealed his surprising support for Brad Keselowski's playoff push. Speaking on a Stacking Pennies episode, SVG drew a direct parallel between his own journey and Keselowski's remarkable turnaround.
Like, obviously my championship position's running now, but when I first won the race, I was 32nd or something. So I can see why, but I really want Brad Keselowski to win a race because he was like 30th as well at the time, and it would have been interesting to see what people thought about that because he's a champion, right?
Right.
And he could run pretty deep in the playoffs. So
this statement carries enormous weight. SVG experienced his own dramatic reversal of fortune, starting as a non-factor in the first half of 2025 before grabbing 3 consecutive road course victories at Mexico City, Chicago, and Sonoma. Now he's watching Keselowski follow a remarkably similar path. The 2012 Cup Series champion currently sits 19th in championship standings with 4 top 5s and 7 top 10s. Keselowski's dual role as RFK racing owner and driver of the number. 6 Ford makes his playoff situation particularly compelling. If he can secure a trophy in the next 3 weekends, he'll jump directly into the playoffs, exactly the kind of dramatic storyline that validates SVG's perspective on the current format. SVG's message goes deeper than simple support. He's essentially calling out the hypocrisy of playoff format critics by suggesting that a Keselowski victory would reveal their true colors. The logic is bulletproof. If critics truly believe the system lacks merit,